Before we get into today's practice, I want to share something with you. Something that happened to me just recently that I think a lot of you are going to relate to. I'm a restaurant manager. I'm in my 30s and I have worked so many jobs in my lifetime. I've clocked in, clocked out, and not a single one of them ever resonated in my heart. Not really. But making these videos, researching this material, sitting with these ideas, doing the self-introspection, thinking, okay, what did I learn from that hard lesson, that hard season of my life, and how might it help somebody out there? That feels right. That's the only way I can describe it. It just feels right. And something happened recently that made me feel like the universe agreed. I was at work, opening the cash office, pretty Monday morning. And I had a YouTuber on in the background, a guy named Victor Odo. Check him out, he's great. And he's talking about how being a content creator, he felt like a spiritual calling to how he had to take the leap and how following that pull was the most aligned decision that he'd ever made. And I'm standing there thinking, that's me. That's exactly where I am. Then I look down at the bank deposit that I'm counting. It's at $1,444. I look down at my phone. Again, the number 444. And then there's paperwork on the desk, an invoice from our bread vendor. I turn it over and sure enough, 444. Now, whether you believe in angel numbers, synchronicities, or just the universe having a really good sense of humor, something was happening in that moment. It felt like a confirmation, like reality tapping me on the shoulder saying, keep going. And that's actually the perfect entry point into what we're doing today. Because in order to notice those moments, those quiet signals, you have to be present enough to receive them. And breathwork and meditation are two of the most powerful tools that I've found for getting there. So let's get into it. But first, just sit with this for a second. Life is a trip. We're all here, every single one of us, waking up, going through our days, feeling things, wanting things, losing things, gaining things back. And not a one of us truly knows why. Not really. The greatest philosophers, the greatest scientists, the greatest spiritual teachers who ever lived, none of them cracked that one open completely. And I find that strangely comforting because it means that we're all kind of figuring this out together. The Kybalion, one of my favorite texts on Hermetic philosophy, says it like this: the lips of wisdom are closed, except to the ears of understanding. In other words, the deeper truths aren't hidden from you. They're waiting for you to get quiet enough to hear them. That's what today is about. I want to talk about something that doesn't get enough airtime in the wellness space, and that's detachment. Not apathy, not giving up, not caring. I mean the conscious, deliberate practice of releasing your grip on outcomes, on things, on status, on the idea that your worth is tied to what you have or what you've achieved. Here's why I bring this up personally. I have had everything taken away from me. I mean, everything. And I have gained it all back, and then some. And lost it again. And what that experience taught me, what I couldn't have learned any other way, is that the most precious moments of your life, of my life at least, were never the big wins. They were the small ones. A quiet morning, a moment of genuine peace, a sunrise, a sunset, a feeling of being in harmony with where I was exactly as it was. Let money help you get to where you want to go. But don't let money be where you want to end up. That's a trap. And most of us are running that program without even knowing it. The Buddha said, "You only lose what you cling to." And Lama Surya Das wrote in Awakening the Buddha Within, "The secret of happiness is not found in seeking more, but in developing the capacity to enjoy less." Detachment, in many ways, is one of the fastest paths to what I call escaping the matrix. Not the external one, the internal one. The one built from fear, from scarcity, from the belief that you are what you own or what you do for a living. You are so much more than that. So how do we access that? How do we actually get out of our heads and back into ourselves? One of the simplest, most underrated tools is your own breath. Breathwork is just this: intentionally controlling your breath to shift your mental and physical state. That's it. Here's the science behind why it works. Your breath is the one function of your autonomic nervous system, the system that runs your heartbeat, your stress response, your digestion, that you can consciously control. That's a big deal. It means your breath is essentially a manual override switch. When you're stressed or overwhelmed, your breathing goes shallow and fast. That signals danger to your brain and keeps you locked in fight or flight mode. When you slow it down deliberately, you send the opposite signal. We're safe. We can slow down. We can be present. The Kabbalion speaks to this principle of polarity, the idea that every state has its opposite, and that you can consciously move along that spectrum. Everything is dual. Everything has poles. Your breath is the dial. The first technique is called box breathing. It's used by Navy SEALs, therapists, athletes. This because it's simple and it works fast. So here's how it goes. We're going to inhale through the nose for 4 counts. Then hold. Hold the breath at the top for 4 counts. Next, exhale slowly through the mouth for 4 counts. And again, hold at the bottom for 4 counts. That's 1 box. We're doing 4 rounds together. So sit up straight if you can. Rest your hands on your knees and close your eyes if that's what feels comfortable. And here we go. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. 2 more on your own. Keep that rhythm. Good. Even in just 4 rounds, there's a shift, right? A little heaviness in the limbs, a little more space between you and your thoughts. That's your nervous system downshifting, and that's real. If you want to go deeper, especially before sleep or when anxiety is running high, try 4-7-8 breathing, developed by Dr. Andrew Well. You inhale through your nose for 4 counts, and then you hold it there for 7 counts. And then you exhale fully through your mouth for 8 counts. Slow. Imagine you're fogging up a mirror. The long exhale is the key. It activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest state, more powerfully than almost anything else you can do in under a minute. Start with 3 to 4 rounds. You might feel slightly lightheaded at first. That's normal. Just ease into it. Now let's bring it all together. This isn't just about emptying your mind. That's a myth that keeps a lot of people from ever starting. Meditation is simply about observing your mind without being controlled by it. Watching without chasing. So let's practice that. We're going to do a guided meditation together. Close your eyes. Let your breath return to its natural rhythm. No need to control it now. Just let it be. Bring your attention to the sensation of breathing, the air moving in through your nose, maybe slightly cool, the gentle rise of your chest, the quiet release of the exhale. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to figure anything out right now. Just be here. Thoughts will come. That's fine. You're not trying to stop them. Imagine each thought as a cloud drifting across an open sky. You notice it, you let it pass. You are not the cloud. You are the sky. Now bring to mind something you're moving toward, a version of your life that feels more aligned, more you. Don't force it. Just let a feeling arise. Notice what happens in your body when you connect with that. Maybe there's warmth in your chest. Maybe a quiet excitement that's been waiting underneath all the noise. That feeling is your compass. That's what the synchronicities are pointing to. Take one deep breath in through the nose and a long, slow exhale through the mouth. When you're ready, gently open your eyes. That's the reset. Look, I don't have all the answers. None of us do. Life is a trip and we're all on it together, doing the best we can with what we've got. But what I do know is this. The moments that have mattered most in my life were not the big achievements. They were the quiet ones, the peaceful ones. The ones where I was present enough to actually feel alive. And I think that's available to all of us. Not someday, not when things settle down, but right now. In a breath, in a moment of stillness, in the willingness to let go of what doesn't serve you and trust what does. The Buddha said, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. I'm so genuinely excited about where this journey is going. For me, and for all of you who are here sharing it with me. If this resonated, drop a comment. Tell me about a synchronicity that you've experienced recently. Tell me what came up during that meditation that we did. I read every single comment. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.